Mac Mondays, scene 1, take 1. Mark.
You can tell she's a perfectionist.
I'm like,
you're done.
I'm
you
done.
Can breathe.
I was like holding this up, like
you can take a break. Listen, that is hilarious. It's done.
Okay. I'm just doing this too.
We roll.
We roll
it here.
Oh, we roll. Put it here. All right.
I'm screaming. Coach Ray. That is funny. Is that what you go by?
Yeah, I do. Coach Ray.
Coach Ray?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So, funny story. We have known each other. Ooh.
Okay.
So I was a freshman when I think I first met you in high school. So 14-year-old.
Okay.
So yeah, that's crazy.
Long time.
A long time. So many transitions.
Yeah.
And now you're back at our alma mater, Bishop Montgomery High. Gang, go Knights.
Go Knights.
Time really goes by fast. But it's sick because you actually look the same as you did when we were in high school.
And same to you. Same to you.
So crazy. And
Thank you.
I have to find a picture and like put them up. You have a high school picture?
Yeah, I sure do. They found it in the halls. They because you know the Bishop halls they take every class has like your senior picture. Like you're up there too.
I am up there.
So like they found me and they took a picture and sent it to me and Kristen too in the
Kristen
halls.
looks the same too.
Yeah, so
everybody looks the same. Des looks the same. So you're the oldest of how many?
I'm the oldest of 5. Yes.
That's
We're all grown now. But yeah, it's fun. It's fun to be back at Bishop.
Yeah.
But yeah, as I was saying, winning state.
Yeah.
That was such an incredible experience. We started off the season. We took a couple losses. We played in Arizona, this big Nike Tournament of Champions. We played the top teams and started in Arizona and then Maryland, got our butts whooped.
Yeah.
But, you know, that was going to prepare us for our postseason run. And state, we had the first seed in Division I, which means that we had a bye.
Okay.
And then every single game was at home, which led to the state championship in Sacramento. So it was so fun. I'm so happy for them. And yeah.
So how do you take your L's? Like what? Let's get into it. Like, how do you take your L's? Like, I know you're a competitive person. You've been a competitive person for God knows how long, right? You were a hooper. You played, college ball. Like, you've done a lot of things in your experience in the world of sports. But like, how do you take L's in that? And coming into, I'm not gonna say transitioning women from like losing to like winning, essentially.
Yeah. I always tell my friends this, like being a coach is very difficult because the game is in their hands, right? You don't have control. You have to trust that and you have to prepare your kids to, apply the game plan in the game. So it's very much out of my control. Like I'm usually, if I'm on the court, like I know what I need to do and I can control like my skill set.
Right.
Whereas as a coach, like I have to trust that my players are capable of applying what we've taught them, right? So it's literally out of your control every single game.
Yeah.
So, I'm a competitor. I hate to lose, but I understand that they feed off of my energy, and I have to kind of shift their mindset of every loss being a lesson, and that can apply in life too.
For sure.
On and off the court.
For sure.
What can we learn from things? What can we learn from? A turnover, a missed box out, but then also in life, what can we learn from a friendship breakup or a job, a career where you got rejected from a job, like stuff like that is just
it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
Right. Rejection is gonna happen. Losses are gonna happen. Everything is gonna happen. And when you said something about releasing control, and it stuck out to me because that's a hard thing to do in life in general, but specifically when you're trying to help someone win. And I find that can be applicable in any circumstance, right? Like, I'm trying to help you win, but I can only do what I can do for you if you take what I give you and apply it, right? So how has that like transitioned into your life in general?
It's delegating tasks. I feel like as a head coach, there's a lot of responsibilities. Like basketball is the fun part, right? But I have to do admin work. I have to do academic checkups. I have to make sure my kids are like mentally okay as well.
Right.
Preparation, recruiting, got to help with recruiting to, if they want to go to college. Like it's a nonstop job. Season is from November to February or March, right? But as a head coach, you're consistently working and helping these kids.
And how do you balance that? I mean, I feel like in multiple aspects, people always are going to wear multiple hats in any position that they're in. But you have to delegate. Then you have to take care of yourself. Then you have to show up for other people. Like, how do you maintain your sanity in the midst of chaos?
I am a big believer on setting boundaries for yourself. I tend to take a lot on. In general, I work really hard, but I think sometimes that messed with me mentally. Like I was so exhausted and I couldn't give my all to these kids. And even to myself, I feel like I cannot pour from an empty cup.
You can't.
Right? So big on saying no to things that don't serve me. I mean, that's the hardest thing. It's like, I'm sorry, I would love to, but I can't for myself.
Yeah.
I also do a lot of things for myself too.
Yeah.
Like I take a break after high school season. I don't coach club.
Yeah.
I want to do things that, also benefit me.
Yeah.
Like go on trips with my friends.
Yeah.
Like,
and pour into yourself.
Exactly.
Because you have to it does take a balance to have any type of success, right?
Exactly.
If it's all work, no play, then you are going to burn out, essentially. And during the season, you're already going so hard and pouring. That's why I think it's cool that your whole family is involved in multiple aspects in different ways in the sport and does things that also benefit each other. You guys benefit each other. And I think that's a really cool thing to see from the outside, and you guys have established that on the outside, so it's super cool to see that be active. But anyways, back to you. I think that it's really hard to set boundaries at times. So when did you feel pushback when you were setting hard boundaries?
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of people that coach the way that they coach and traditionally that's how you should do it. But, for me, I'm a non-traditional coach.
Right.
Like I don't coach club basketball because I do want to make sure that I have a balance and I'm able to pour myself into these kids.
Yeah.
I'm a big believer in, I have a motto: look good, feel good, do good.
Yeah.
Like throughout season, if I'm I'll get my nails done, my lashes, my hair done, and just a facial, just to feel good about myself. And I have kind of I know that they're watching. I know the girls are looking at my every move. So, my energy is contagious. If I walk into practice feeling defeated and low, we're going to have a terrible practice. If I walk in with energy and I'm happy, they're gonna feed off of it. And I
that's
realize
any leader, right?
Yeah.
Like any leader, when you are a leader, you're going whatever mode you come in on, the team is gonna feel that too. It doesn't matter in what capacity you work. You can be a leader in a corporate position, in an entrepreneurial position, in any type of role. It's gonna be everyone's gonna feed off your energy, and knowing that you have that power is also a responsibility that is high. You can't take that lightly. You're impacting other lives. Yeah.
I think that's the key point of leadership too.
Yeah.
I feel like leadership also, an important element is how are you building these relationships with the people that you lead? And it doesn't necessarily mean coaching to player, but manager to employee. How are you impacting their lives? Are you just pushing work? Are you just pushing basketball? Or are you trying to find the best into your employee or into your players? And I feel like that's an important part of leadership. Yeah. Is making sure that you invest some time into mentoring whoever you are leading. Yeah. And growing them as great people, not just a basketball player.
Yeah. And honestly, truly, now that the game has changed as well, when we just talk about basketball or sports or anything, there's more money at stake. There's more things happening. So making a good, decent human being is part of the process now. There's so much that people have access to, or young kids have access to that we once didn't have. So you're coaching in a generation that you didn't grow up in, right? And the impact and seeing it from a bird's eye view is also a powerful tool for you to use to be impactful on young women specifically.
Right. And kidding, 21, 22-year-olds are millionaires right now with NIL. And touching that type of money at a young age is like crazy to me.
Yeah.
But also, if you think about it from a high school kid's perspective, I feel like as great that it's just such a great opportunity for kids that play sports.
Yeah.
But I also feel like with high school kids that are looking at that on social media, that's all that they think about. And so I think social media can be a great tool as far as building your brand, but I also think that it can bring some negative impact in terms of some younger kids. Like, imagine if we had Instagram in high school and like comparing ourselves
it would be detrimental.
Exactly.
It would be detrimental because that's all you're seeing. But I also feel like they're a generation that's now getting back to the basics. So it helps, but it's also taking us to tell them like, look, this is not real life. Like, real life is what you like. You show what you like to show. You're not going to show what you're going through, right? Like, your life looks perfect online at times, right? Because you're curating it. So, yeah, I think that. But how do you stay confident also and above the internet? Because you can be talking to people, but they don't care because, like, you know, the internet says differently. So how do you instill confidence in people and maintain yours?
Well, that's one of the boundaries I set. Like, if I start scrolling and I'm like feeling like, ugh, I wish I had that home, I'd be like, okay, I'm logging off. That's enough social media for me today. I also kind of like reflect on the things that I do well, and I amplify that within myself. I think me coaching too, it's very purposeful. And so like, you know, the smallest things that I do for them, like that when they succeed, it makes me feel like I did something great rather than like, I'd rather impact a life than get 500 likes on an Instagram post, you know? It's like looking at the impact and like the smallest things like really, really, really fuel me. Both of my seniors that are graduating, they're gonna play college basketball. Like, that's a really important goal that I know they wanted. And as a coach, like, I wanted them to play college basketball. So, you know, now that I played a role in getting them to play, like, that is like what makes me
you go.
I
think that, and I also think it just comes from experience, right? Because you have been in an experience where that was something that was a big impact from the people on the outside, not knowing what you were going through on the inside, right? So like likes and like real life are two different things, because it's a difference between what they think and what you know. You know what I mean? Because what you know for sure is what you've experienced, and what they think is totally different. Because someone looking at where you've been or where you've been or whatever can be like, dang, like she's been this, she's been that, da 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 da, and not really know how it's impacted you. And then you on the inside are like, I know what I value at this point, and that wasn't that, you know? So it's always something from the outside perspective. And so how do you deal with that?
Oh God, I mean, from the outside looking in, like, I know I had a lot of doubters taking this job as a coach. But, you know, I'd have to balance. I'd have to keep my life right with the Lord too, in terms of praying and getting in my Bible and like talking to my parents about some things too. I value my relationship with my parents too, and surrounding myself with people that truly know me and truly love me, and that lift me up when I need help. That's also really important too. I feel like people that you love, or if you surround yourself with like great people that want to elevate you and want to see you win, like that will outweigh all the negativity that you go through. And I found my coaching circle. I've developed a friend group of coaches where like we lean on each other when things go wrong. Like, there's a lot of things that a high school coach or any coach would go through. But outside of my friends, like understanding and relating to other coaches, female coaches in particular, that go through these things, and like we can relate and like have each other's backs and stuff. So I truly believe in finding your circle, your people that can help you.
Diverse circles. Like, you don't have to have all friends that are coaches. You don't have to have all friends that are this, that. Like, you're supposed to have different friend circles and different for different extensions of you, right? Like, because I don't want to always I can't be the coach. Like, you can't be the coach you with me, right? Like, I'm not like a coach. I don't understand what's going on. Like, you know, but I understand what you do and I respect what you do. So I'm intrigued and I love it. But if it's girly, if it's this and it's that, like, you might be able to connect with me or your friends that you go out to dinner with, and this, like, all of your circles have a extension of you, and it keeps you balanced. Like, I think that's important for sure.
I always say, like, I'm a multifaceted friend. I could pray for you.
Yes.
I could turn up with you.
Yes.
I could
Be
cry
your
with you.
therapist,
I could like whatever. I could listen to you.
Yeah.
Like, we could go to church.
Yeah.
We could go to a bar. Like, whatever you want. I'm the multifaceted friend.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's what I like about myself is like, you know, whenever a close friend of mine, if they need me, like I'm there.
Yeah. And I think that's, and then that translates into your profession. But like you as a person have to, I'm happy that you said you set boundaries because people are afraid to sometimes set boundaries. Mm-hmm. I'm happy that you said you're not afraid to speak up for yourself. As a coach, you, like, that's something that you practice daily. So you have to, you coach daily, so you have to practice it. Like, I think you can't be what you preach unless you really are practicing it, right? Like, and I think that you had to transition into becoming what you wanted people to see.
Right.
Yeah.
They have to lead by example.
Yeah.
You have to. I mean, these girls, and I think a lot of people don't understand like that there's always somebody watching. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it could be like younger kids. Like the powerful thing about social media is just like you might not see these people that follow you, but they're truly they see you, you inspire them in some way. So, you know, I feel like that's also an important element, like your platform in general.
Being responsible with your platform.
Exactly. And like motivating and inspiring. There are some people that are fans of other people online that you've never met, but you impact lives in some way. So that's why I feel like leading by example is super, super important.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Ray, for I love a good combo. Yes. No, that was so good. I appreciate you for coming to another Mac Monday.
Yes.
So yes, tune in. This is Coach Ray, the big dog, not the little one. Okay.
Go Knights.
Thank you.